Hi Leos, and welcome to your April 2017 General Tarot Forecast. This is Sky, and I'm here to give you guys hopefully a great reading for your month ahead. Oh my gosh, as a Leo rising myself, I'm actually really excited to see this reading because I really think that April is going to be an amazing month for Leos. I think that you guys are finally getting past what went wrong, which was a lot, I feel like, in the last year, but a lot went right as well. And you'll come to see, I think, in April that what went wrong was actually really bringing into fruition what you can make this month in April. And since you are a fire sign, I just feel that it's going to be really great for you, along with seeing the cards coming up. Like having the Fool in an April reading is probably one of the most amazing energies to pull forth, because that's what April is. You know, we came from the equinox, from Pisces time to Aries time, and it is time now to access the energy of the Fool and to start anew and start new chapters of your life and not really look back. So the fact that that came up for you guys as a central theme really made me excited for you. Having the Eight of Wands and the Two of Cups and the Wheel of Fortune, and some Judgment is good, the Lovers is good, Eight of Cups is okay, and you've got some of those other heavier archetypes, but I honestly feel like it doesn't even matter because of what you have moving forward. And you may even be here sitting in this reading being like, I feel kind of heavy, I feel like I'm not able to materialize what I need to or what I want to moving forward. And I do feel that that's natural right now, but I feel by mid-April, once that full energy really starts to hit you hard, you're going to really wake up and realize the beauty that you have moving forward. And there are some things that pull you back, though, as well, and we're going to talk about it all when we look at this from week to week. But it's up to you, Leos, and that tends to be the case with any kind of difficult energy that comes forward, but especially with this having the really positive, forward-looking archetypes along with the time of the year. It really just becomes your conscious choice, Leo, whether you want to be upset at humanity or whether you want to sort of look forward and choose to not look back at the part of humanity that didn't treat you specifically well. So anyway, I just want to jump straight into this reading and start looking week to week and give you guys some clarification for what specifically is coming forward. So in the first week of April, Leo, I honestly see you in a battle with yourself. You have the Five of Wands reversed or down by the Two of Cups. It's like through the end of the equinox, through the end of March, and potentially a lot of the end of 2016 and beginning of 2017, it's been honestly a battle with yourself. It's been about the inconsistency. Like one day you're looking in the mirror and you're satisfied, the next day you're not, and nothing's really changed. Or on the other side of that, one day you're happy with the progress that you've made at work, and the next day you feel as if you've done nothing. And there's a unevenness and sort of stark contrast in your opinion of yourself and your progress and your manifestation that is kind of haunting you. And one of the reasons that you have to just step into a place where you're not looking back, where you're kind of in the place of the Fool, because it's not something that you can continue, Leo. The the inequality of, self-expression that you have in yourself, or rather the inequality of self-approval is really what it's coming down to for you guys. I think it's all about self-approval for you. And because we're moving into Aries time, and you can only really be self-approving in Aries time because Aries hasn't yet developed as a sign archetypally, hasn't yet developed a shadow or developed an ability to go within and disapprove of certain aspects of the self. Aries approves 100% of itself archetypally at the root of that energy. So as a Leo, as a fire sign, you do have to go along with that because Leo is different. Leo has surpassed Cancer, which is where we first get introduced to the shadow in the zodiac. So you are inherently blessed with a lot of energy towards the self because you're ruled by the sun, and Leo is all about the self. But you have more of a proneness to, look at the shadow aspect of yourself and to really overemphasize what's not right about yourself. So it's going to be a great time in April, Leos, to not do that. It's going to really behoove you to just approve of yourself no matter what, which a lot of people are going to be like, no, Leos have such big egos. Why would we tell them to do that? Because actually Leos don't have as big egos as they let on. I mean, some Leos more than others, depending on what else is in the chart. A Leo Scorpio person or a Leo Taurus person, or what else could I say? Maybe even a Leo Capricorn person will struggle more with an ego problem if they can't look at themselves as well. But just generally the nature of Leo itself, especially a Leo with Cancer or a Leo with like Pisces energy, or even not Capricorn, I want to say like Aquarius energy. The ego is not nearly as big of a problem as people tend to stereotype it. So it's just, as I said, my point being, it's a great time for self-approval, Leos, because you're attracting in some kind of twin flame type of energy into your life with the Two of Cups. Now, the Two of Cups can either be another person, or that can be you. That can be you finally coming into contact with yourself. Maybe through just approving of yourself despite any inclination to not, really sets you up to face yourself head on, which is similar to what Gemini was going through as well. So if you guys do have Gemini in your chart, I would watch that reading, because Gemini is definitely having to face themselves too. But definitely the message coming forward, if for the single Leos out there who are wanting to attract other people in order to do that, you have to stop this battle with yourself. You have to stop this waning self-approval. You have to finally approve of yourself and stop being your own worst enemy to then attract somebody in. Otherwise, you're just going to be facing yourself head on, and you're going to be looking at yourself. Now, that also does have to happen before you attract someone in that's healthy or really finally resonates with who you are, because I do feel like Leo has really been struggling to attract in people that resonate. Maybe a lot of you have been attracting a lot of people in, but they're not Two of Cups type of people. So, because moving into the second week, you guys do have the Judgment over the Eight of Wands. And I mean, this is amazing. This is like a complete rebirth. This is an evolution, and it's like a gifted evolution. Through this evolution, you suddenly get a lot of things. I feel that just by stopping this battle with yourself, for any of you struggling with like self-esteem or body image problems, suddenly your issues heal. Maybe if some of you have skin problems, or if some of you have weight problems, whatever it is, it's like through stopping the battle with yourself, suddenly you see yourself looking the way that you want to look. And that's the interesting sort of juxtaposition of self-approval. Anyway, my point being is that you're going through this evolution, and this evolution gives you what you want, but it's like you have to not want it before it gives it to you. So it's kind of a riddle for you guys right now. And I also see you guys maybe starting some kind of diet or new health regime, which is good. It's a great time to do that in April. It can work so much easily right now than it would at other times of the year. And that really causes a lot of transformation to happen for you guys. But again, it has to be healthy. It has to be something that's not over the top, or not something that relies on you like fixing something about yourself, or finally putting yourself the way that you wanted it to be for so long through like really difficult means. Because it really is given to you. And that's another big question for Leos. And if there were any shadow work to be done, it would be, do you need something in yourself to hate in order to change it? Now, don't focus there for too long, because again, we're not in shadow work time of the year, but that really is the strong shadow message coming forward for you guys if it did. So second week is glorious. Second week should feel very energetic, and you should feel a lot of vital energy come back to you in the second week. Moving into the third week, you have the Seven of Swords reversed, rooted down by the Wheel of Fortune reversed. So you have a turn in luck one way or another. I feel like, again, you've got to be careful who you're attracting in, because on one hand, I am prone to say that this comes from the past, and it's something that you're getting over from the past, but we've passed the Fool, so honestly, this could be a new person that comes in, and you just have to really make sure that you've analyzed if they're good people. And because you'll see the red flags. The Seven of Swords always comes with red flags. It's not like a surprise. I mean, it can be a surprise, it can be unexpected, but it's like, it's kind of on you if it does happen. So just make sure you're looking at all your relationships, and make sure that you're seeing if anybody might have the potential to take advantage of you right now, because you don't want that. Coming from the second week with all that beautiful, beautiful energy of Judgment and Eight of Wands, you don't want somebody stealing that from you. It's like you get all this abundance and benevolence from the Eight of Wands, and Judgment transforms you to a place that you can finally accept it. But then it's like there's this person there that wants to just take it. And this person who could just see all that excess come in and just take it all from you if they wanted to. So it's up to you, Leos, to, make sure that that person isn't there, or that you don't give it away. If there's any battle to engage in April, Leo, it's not with yourself. It's with the people who stand to take away your gifts and your abundance through very dishonest means. So the Wheel of Fortune is always good, though. That does make it a bit lighter, even though it's in reverse. That means that luck is on your side, and if you can just face it and you can just work with it, then you stand to really flourish from this energy. Like, good karma stands to come back to you because someone may have tried to take advantage of you. Honestly, I see you guys being given what you need to deal with the Seven of Swords energy, and the Seven of Swords reversed is always easier to deal with than the upright, because it's always proof that Seven of Swords reversed won't get away with it, that what they're trying to hide and what they're trying to carry is too much, so it always kind of spills out, or they drop what they're carrying, and that's sort of an archetype in the Seven of Swords anyway, but reversed it's more potent in my opinion. So I feel like also having the Wheel of Fortune with that, maybe it feels like bad luck to you since it's reversed, but ultimately you have the luck and the abundance to deal with it, and this person won't be able to get away with it. So I think you're fine. But I think that it has more to do with like what this relationship was to you once. Maybe you really trusted this person, because moving into the fourth week, you guys have the Lovers rooted down by the Eight of Cups reversed. So it's like all of a sudden you have to walk away from somebody, and it's somebody that you did not want to walk away from. Now, I don't know that this is all Leos. I feel like it's a smaller percentage that is forced to walk away from somebody in specific. For a lot of you, it could be a way of being that you're walking away from. Again, this could be the self-approval and the battle with yourself that you're choosing to walk away from. And you may find that it's a more difficult thing to walk away from than you realized, and that you sort of engage in battles with yourself in ways that you didn't realize. But it's good to see this, because then you just know what to walk away from. Eight of Cups, it's always something that you don't necessarily want to leave behind, but you know that you have to. And when it's reversed, it's like you're thinking harder and harder, and you're thinking, wow, I really stand to lose a lot if I walk away from it. But it's usually a good thing. Another message of the Eight of Cups reversed is to make sure that you're walking away from the right thing. So if you're having this problem with the battle with yourself, and then you choose to see somebody in your life who really is supportive of you, and you say, I'm going to walk away from them because they represent the battle of myself, when in reality you're not facing yourself, that's a possibility. So make sure you're walking away from the right thing. Make sure that you look at the battle with yourself that you're involved in, and you say, okay, I'm going to start prioritizing myself. I'm going to start caring about what I put into my body. I'm going to do that in a way that's not somehow inhibiting my nutrition. And interpret that in anything that it applies for with you, Leo, like in the battle with yourself. This could be happening in career. This could be happening in your relationships. But whatever that is, use that amazing focus that you are gifted and that fixed nature that you have to realize what your battle is with yourself, and choose that and walk away from that. Don't walk away from the people who do care, or from or even from yourself, okay? So maybe this has to do, because I'm seeing so many different scenarios for different people out there. Maybe this is a codependent relationship, and rather than walking away from the relationship, you're choosing to walk away from yourself, when in reality it should have been the other way around. So just take time to really assess what needs to be walked away from, because you do have that potential in the fourth week to walk away from the wrong thing. But it should be very clear, just with a bit of thought. Again, there's not much need to do shadow work. It's just like easy thought with Aries time. So the Lovers is over the top of that, so it's very faded. It's very potentially difficult to decide what direction you need to go. It's like you're walking away from something just to come into contact with a crossroads. And, you just have to be the fool, honestly. Maybe not even taking that much time to think about what direction you're going, okay? So that's kind of contradictory. So you might need to use a bit of thought to know what you're walking away from, but once you finally turn your back and you walk that other direction, it's time to be the fool, and it's time to not really care what direction you're going, as long as you're honoring yourself and you're not battling yourself to do it. Okay, so that's a little bit complicated, and I hope you guys understand that, and I hope that I've articulated it properly. But it's kind of a difficult situation that you're in, Leo, and you're kind of in a spider web. But once you turn your back on that spider web and you walk, it's like you just break free, and it's really easy. If you are struggling with a codependent relationship with the Lovers and the Eight of Cups and the Seven of Swords, which it could be, it's just really breakup time, honestly, because April is about new beginnings and endings and easy endings and endings that are quick and painless. So if you're there, Leo, if your gut has been telling you to break up, like, now is a supported time for sure. But obviously you make your own decisions. Don't do that just because I said it, or if you're happy in a relationship, you know. But it is also a signal that maybe a third party in relationships could be playing a big role. Perhaps there's a friend of a friend who knows the person that you're in the relationship with, and for some reason that person is influencing the relationship, and that's not a good thing for this time of the year. So do take the proper action in response to dealing with that kind of codependence. All in all, Leo, you're very, very bright this April, and regardless of the battle that may be happening with yourself, you're really coming off as very sparkly, very magnanimous. You're exuding very seductive and attractive magnetic energy. So you are going to be pulling in a lot of people no matter what, and they're not going to realize what's going on with you at the internal level. So I keep seeing like a spider web for you, and I already mentioned that once, but you guys are potentially attracting in spider web type of energy where you get really stuck and sticky, and like other people's energy is very sappy and sticky on your skin. So, which is not what Leo needs at all. You guys need to be free. You guys need to be the Fool, and you need to not be looking back. So, but I keep seeing this imagery, and it's weird. I see like the Eight of Cups and I see the Fool, and I'm like, it's kind of funny. It's kind of comical in a way. Like I just see Leo's like walking around everywhere and just walking through spider webs, and like, oh, I'm the Fool, and I'm just going to walk through the spider web and get all tangled up, and then just keep walking the other direction into the other spider web. And like, you've got to have a bit of direction and a bit of purpose with this. So when I say become the Fool, Leo, you've got to know what direction to go with it, and then like throw your inhibitions to the wind or whatever. And again, I know that so we have you trying to understand the battle with yourself with the Eight of Cups and walking the other direction and not caring so much about what direction you're going with the crossroads, but at the same time not really just walking into all the spider webs. Does that make sense? So you've got to have a purpose with your direction, and it's like once you have a purpose, once you know what you're working towards, you can then not really care what direction you go. You can then throw your inhibitions to the wind by having purpose. So yes, understand the battle with yourself, turn your back on the things that prevent that, find your purpose and direction, and then you can throw your inhibitions to the wind. But those steps have to be followed for you guys, because if you don't really do that meticulously, you stand to be kind of caught and slowed down a little bit by heavier energy. I kind of almost see it as like a very complicated interstate or something that you're like driving through a major downtown city, and it's like you just have to get through those interchanges to get like on the really long part of the interstate where you don't have any more interchanges. That's where you're at in April, Leo. You're going through all the interchanges, and they're like all these like ramps and like floating highways that look like roller coasters, and you can just navigate through this and maybe get turned around once or twice with like the spider web type of energy, and then you get all navigated and you finally get on your path, and you can just go and not really pay that much attention. That's where you're at in April, and you're going to look beautiful while you're doing it. You're going to be very magnanimous, as I said. You're going to be very sultry and pull in a lot of people at the same time. So just imagine going through all of those roads and at the same time pulling in all the other people. It's going to be very hectic potentially, but in a way that you do enjoy it. And try not to be too confrontational, because again, that's something that's pulling other people in as well. It's like by fighting with certain people, you pull even more in. So be loving. The Two of Cups energy is coming in. And except the second week of April, I swear, Leo, is going to be so beautiful. Judgment over Eight of Wands. It's great stuff. It's easy. And I feel like you are on the stage this month, Leo, and people are watching you. So allow yourself to be out and about, and allow other people to just kind of be in your presence, because you are a very royal, aristocratic type of energy right now, despite the internal battle that you are experiencing to some extent. So you'll do really good one way or another, even if you do go through the spider webs or you do get messed up or struggle to navigate, you will still come to the right place eventually. It's a matter of how long will it take. So, yeah, I feel like it's great for you guys. If you're struggling with shedding any skin, I did a guided meditation, which should be popping up on the screen soon, and I hope that you guys will have the chance to check that out. Also, you can book a private reading with me here if you would like to see specifically about you individually, and you can also subscribe to my channel here as well. I hope you guys have a really great month moving ahead, and I will be talking to you soon. Bye.